Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. I am your friend Ashfaq and today I will show you how to install and configure the vCenter 8. So let's get started. I have already downloaded the vCenter 8 ISO in my system. You can refer to this video on how to download the vCenter 8 ISO from the vmware.com. The link of this video I will provide you in the description. In my previous video, we had deployed the esxi8 host. You can refer to this video on how to install and configure the esxi8. The link of this video I will provide you in the description. Note one thing here that vCenter 8 can be deployed on an esxi host 6.7 or later. Today we are going to deploy the vCenter 8 on this esxi host. To perform the DNS entry for my vCenter server, I will go to my domain controller. I will go to DNS manager, forward lookup zone. I will right click on my domain, new host. I will provide the IP address, name for my vCenter server. VCSA8. I will provide the IP address. One 192.168.0.145. I will tick here create associated pointer record. I will click on add host. OK, done. I will do the reload once here. OK, I will minimize my domain controller. I will now go to download folder. I will right click on the vCenter 8 ISO and I will select mount, which will mount the ISO and open it. I will go to VCSA UI installer folder Win32 and I will double click on the installer.exe. Here I will click on install. So first it will do the stage 1. I will click on next. I accept. Next. I will provide here my esxi host IP address, username. I will provide the password. Next. Yes. I will provide the virtual machine name for the vCenter server. I will set the password for the root for our vCenter server. Next. My setup is tiny, so I will not change anything here. Next. I will select the data store on which I want to deploy the vCenter 8. I will tick here enable thin disk mode. Next. So here I will provide the FQDN for my vCenter server. VCSA8.virtualtechbox.com. I will provide the IP address for my vCenter server. 192.168.0.145. I will provide the subnet mask. I will provide the default gateway. I will provide the DNS server, which is my domain controller. Comma, I will provide the secondary DNS 8.8.8.8. I will click on next. This is the summary of the vCenter settings. I will click on finish. So stage 1 deployment has started here and it will take some time to complete. Stage 1 deployment has completed here. I will click on continue. It will now proceed with the stage 2 deployment. I will click here on next. So time synchronization mode, I will keep synchronized time with esxi host. SSH I want to enable. I will click on next. I will set here the single sign-on domain name as vSphere.local. Username administrator. I will set the password for the single sign-on. I will confirm the password. Next. I will untick the CIP. Next. So this is the summary for the step 2, stage 2. I will click on finish. OK. So stage 2 deployment has started here and it will take some time to complete. Stage 2 deployment has completed here and this is the URL of the vSphere client. I will click close here. I will now go to browser and I will open the management interface of the vCenter server. Advanced, proceed. I will provide the username, root. I will provide the password here. So this is the summary of our vCenter server. This is the version and this is the build number of our vCenter server. Under monitor, here you can monitor CPU and memory. Here you can monitor disk related things. Here we can monitor network related things. Here database related, and here we can monitor the logs. If I go to access, here we can enable or disable the all types of access for our vCenter server. Just we have to go to edit and enable and disable the access type which we want to. Under networking, we can do the changes related to networking. We will have to go to edit and do the change whatever we want. Under time, I will go to edit and I will set my time zone. Save. If I go to services, here you can select the service and do the start, stop or restart to the service. Under update, we can perform the update to the vCenter server. Under administration, you can change the password here for the management interface of the vCenter server. I will go to edit under password expiration setting and I will set the password never expires. Save. Under syslog, you can go to configure, provide the IP address of the remote syslog server and add the remote syslog server here. Under backup, we can go to configure, provide the IP address of the backup server, username and password. Here you can schedule the backup and here you can set the retention for the backup. You can click here on backup now, specify the backup server details and you can perform the one-time backup also. I will open the new tab. I will type here the IP address of my vCenter server and hit enter. Launch vSphere client. I will provide the username here. Administrator @vsphere.local. I will provide the password for the same. I will right click on the vCenter server, new data center. I will provide the name. My lab -DC. Okay. I will right click on the data center, new cluster. I will provide the cluster name here. My lab -cluster. I will click here on import image from a new host, and I will click on next. I will provide my host IP address here. I will provide the username root. I will provide the password, and I will click on find host. Yes. Next. Finish. You can monitor the task from here. So all the tasks completed, and here you can see under the vCenter server we have created our data center. Under data center we have created our cluster, and inside the cluster we have added our esxi host. And on this host we have this virtual machine, which is our vCenter 8 virtual machine. Now I have to join my vCenter server to Active Directory domain. For that I will go to menu, administration, and on the left side under single sign-on I will go to configuration, and here on the identity provider tab I will go to Active Directory domain. I will click here on join AD. I will provide my domain name, which is virtualtechbox.com. I will provide my username administrator. I will provide the password for the same. Join. Okay, so message is coming that node has joined the Active Directory successfully. Reboot the node to apply changes. To reboot the vCenter server, I will go to management interface, actions, and I will do the reboot. Yes. To monitor the reboot, I will ping the vCenter server. So after the few RTO, it started pinging, which means it has been rebooted. To verify that my vCenter server has joined the Active Directory domain successfully or not, I will go to my domain controller, and in the Active Directory users and computer, under computer I will do the refresh once, and here you can see the hostname of my vCenter server is present, which means my vCenter server has joined the Active Directory domain successfully. I will go to browser. I will close the older tabs. I will provide here my vCenter server IP address, launch vSphere client. I will provide the username. I will provide the password. Okay, now I have to add my Active Directory domain as the identity source in the vCenter server. So here on the identity provider tab, I will select the identity source on the left side and I will click on add. We have already joined the Active Directory, so it is showing my domain name here. I will click on add. I will do the refresh once. So now you can see my Active Directory domain name is showing under the identity source list. Now I have to add the domain admins to the administrator group of the vCenter server. So under the single sign-on, I will go to users and groups. I will go to groups and I will select the administrators group and I will click on edit. So here in the drop down, I will select my Active Directory domain. I will search here domain admins. Save. Okay, now I have to give the administrator rights to the domain admins on my vCenter server. For that, I will go to menu, inventory. On the left side, I will select my vCenter server. On the right side, I will go to permissions. I will click here on add domain. In the drop down, I will select my Active Directory domain and the group. I will search here domain admins. So these are the roles which we can assign to domain admins here. I have to assign the administrator role. I will tick here propagate to children and I will click on OK. Okay, now my domain admins have the administrator rights on the vCenter server and single sign-on also. I will log out from the vCenter server and will try to log in again with the administrator account of the Active Directory domain. So login name I will provide as administrator @ virtualtechbox.com. I will provide the password for the same login and here I have successfully logged into my vCenter using my administrator account of Active Directory domain. By this way you can install and configure the vCenter 8. Hope you find this video helpful. A lot of effort went behind this video, so do subscribe to my channel to encourage my work. Like the video, share it with the friends and spread the knowledge. Take care and bye for now.